So we're still down here at the Ibiza Grand Hotel for the Ibiza International Music Summit. Now we've been chatting to Danny, Mark, Pete and Ben, and we're going to go and hear what else they've got to say. Something you mentioned before, Pete, you were talking about the forums and the panels and what people get out of them. Who, I mean, you guys spend 8 months or even probably longer coming up, nutting out the panels and the forums. You know, who is it? The 5 of you that come up with those, or do you invite?
Mostly Ben and Pete.
Yeah. Do you invite outside opinions, or?
Yeah, we throw it around. But I think the great thing about the partnership is we all have kind of different skill sets, and we kind of. We fall into rank of like what the strengths are of the partners. So I mean, one of the reasons one of the partners can't be here is because he's really good at carrying stuff.
Yeah. And that's why the partners came together so easily, as we've all got our own skill set, we've all got our own thing that we're really good at.
Could we go through that?
Made it like a no-brainer, really, to do.
What do you bring to the IMS?
Nothing really.
It's an impossible question because we all cross over on everything.
Yeah, of course. Sorry.
We do cross over, but no, in reality.
But I'm sure you all.
You've probably got me and Mark that we classed, I suppose, as more local. We're on the island more often. We deal more with the council, the
console relationship.
And. More stuff on the island, I suppose. Then
you've got Spanish.
Always helps.
Then you've got Simeon, who's very much the logistics head. He sets up the events. He's got the sound systems, the lights, and this.
He wouldn't be here without him.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen. And then you've got Pete, obviously, as Pete Tong. I mean, the skill set speaks for itself. And with Ben, you've got this very savvy press knowledge of the industry, and all of these things that pull the panels and the content together. And we kind of all knew that before we even spoke. We kind of knew what each other's skill sets were, and that's why when we sat down and said let's do it, it was we've got the angles covered. Let's do it.
We do. I mean, at the same time, I mean, there's so much stuff we've picked up from comments from people who are here about what they'd like to see next year, stuff that we will implement. We've never done a panel on publishing, for instance. There's so many areas we've never gone near.
We've been able to, between us all, we've been able to reach out and get pretty varied and quite hard hitting and high level list of delegates together. That's from new school and old school as well, and that's given it a real weight to it as well, I think.
Somebody just asked me that this dinosaur name term keeps coming up. Mark Moreau's opening speech was an amazing introduction to the event, and there's one thing I think the scene needs is more younger people, more younger entrepreneurial people being a part of what we're doing. It's amazing having this sort of senior end of experience here, but we need a more fresh.
But they've got to learn from someone. I think I was lucky enough to go to New York, be sent to New York when I first joined a record company in 1983, and I went to a new music seminar. It just blew me away, and it shaped a lot of who I am today. And I haven't seen anything since then with that kind of place where the up and coming new generation can go and listen to the kind of elders and the people that have been there for 20 years and experienced it all. And I think this is the first place that you can do that. And I think that's one of the reasons it's so popular.
Question about what you achieve from those panels. When and how are they implemented into electronic music? For the future of it. I mean, what's your game plan? From what you achieve from those
conferences are really, you cannot really nail a topic in a 15-minute panel. You've got festivals, you've got digital. We could have had a whole day on digital. There are people who would sit there all day debating this stuff. So you kind of put them out there to get the headliners out there, and then people walk away and these things linger in their minds, and hopefully they go away and action them. But I think for us, that's our big mission, is what do we do come Monday morning to try and sort of truly help shape the genre we work in. So we'll pull together a list of things that have come out of this week, of things that we believe collectively we're capable of inserting some influence on. It's very clear. We did a vote yesterday where the audience voted on 20 questions, and there's some really revealing stuff out of that. Three or four points of which we will probably act on.
I think as well that one of our aims as well is to maintain this electronically in the future, so that we can create a community on the web that can carry on asking the questions after the event's finished, and maybe come back for clarification. Or so we definitely want to embrace the cyberspace. You know, there's a million kids out there who probably would have loved to have come to this, but it maybe it's just not in their reach, or they don't feel they're quite ready. So if we make it available to them online, you know, maybe they see that it is something they can come and
we've got a large amount, I mean, pretty much most of our delegates and panelists that came last year, even if they were panelists last year, they'll come back this year as delegates. So that's the founding blocks of creating a community of our peers, of, you know, people that are at the pinnacle of the industry. So hopefully we can maintain that and keep developing it. And, you know, even if people just come here and they may not have any career changing thoughts, it's just the fact that they've thought about a different perspective, and they'll keep that thought, and you know, it may only develop in years to come.
There's kind of, it's almost like there's a third learning, there's a third networking, and then there's a third of what message we send out and what we can do about it. I think the media interest in this event in the second year is massive compared to the first year. The first year we were knocking on everyone's door saying we're doing it, and now it feels like everyone's knocking on our door saying what are you actually talking about? We want to tell the world. So, and that's just, we just learned that in the last 48 hours. So.
Amazing. In the last 12 months, you know, Twitter wasn't here this time last year. You know, there's all these new things that are coming. We're all over the web these last 2 days. All the content is coming straight out there.
Stop it.
Really, a lot of people doing stuff, and really, the whole point of this conference is you can't stop it. Just let it go. And we're actually trying to control some of it, but it's fascinating. You know, this time next year,
quite some controversial things said, and then people go, "Am I live? Am I on camera?" Am I
you know, in the next 12 months, who knows what technology we'll be using? You know, so we're here to embrace all of that.
And the acts for tonight, is there a particular reason why you've chosen?
I think Basement Jacks pretty much
speak for themselves.
Speak for themselves. They chart topping, but they have that nice fusion of electronic music with instruments. It's entertaining, and we really wanted to end up on an entertaining note.
I mean, let's be honest though, there was a couple of contenders. I think we all felt that we also wanted to book a band who actually really understood Ibiza, that really actually had a history with Ibiza, and the Jacks have played at Pasha for many years, and they've become, they played Space Terrace for years, and I think that you want the band, you want whoever played at that site, you want them to really appreciate and understand what they're doing, and you couldn't have, obviously just if someone picked a great band that never been to Ibiza before, you're not going to get that. With Basement Jacks, they totally understand what's going on, so and that was really important.
It's a really important time for them as well to reconnect with this world as well, because they became so big. I think they're very aware of the positioning for them, so it's a great gig for all of us.